Welcome. I'm David Brown, Manager of Wastewater Education. I'll be your tour guide today. Where does water from your bathtub, toilet, sink, rain, melting snow go? Much of it comes right here to ALCOSAN, which stands for the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority. This is a wastewater treatment plant that is fed by large underground pipes located along the rivers and streams. Sewage and stormwater are carried to ALCOSAN for treatment. Today we'll see how 6 main sewage pumps pass wastewater through screens to collect leaves, styrofoam, rags, and other solids from the raw sewage. Then you'll see how the wastewater is cleaned and returned to the Ohio River on Pittsburgh's north side. At this 59-acre treatment plant, ALCOSAN provides wastewater service to 83 communities. That's nearly 1 million people, including the city of Pittsburgh. This is one of the largest wastewater treatment facilities in the Ohio River Valley, processing up to 250 million gallons of wastewater daily. Let's look at the 24/7 regional wastewater treatment process. Currently, we have 90 miles of interceptor pipes which ALCOSAN owns and maintains along the 3 rivers. These pipes bring wastewater from 83 Allegheny County municipalities to the treatment plant. Everything starts at the main pump station. The floor of the pump station is the lowest point in Allegheny County, at 120 feet deep. 6 huge pumps use 12,000 horsepower to move dirty water to above ground level, allowing the liquid to move in a controlled downward treatment journey through the remainder of the plant. Inside the pump station is a wet well, 120 foot deep, 40 foot wide structure. Wastewater from 83 municipalities ends up here in the wet well. That's over 800,000 customers. Because we have a mixed combined sewer system, storm runoff often includes large amounts of debris that must be removed before we treat the water. The wastewater goes through 6 huge pumps that push the water through the treatment process. Gravity then does the rest. The first step in the primary wastewater treatment process is to remove large solids and grit in the plant's headwork area. Here, dirty liquid is screened by 6 mechanical racks with bars spaced about 3/4 of an inch apart. Anything larger gets screened out and sent to the proper disposal in a landfill. Often that includes styrofoam, rags, leaves, and the occasional dollar bill. You can use your imagination for what else gets strained out at this stage. The bars capture up to 100 tons of large debris every year. The water flows through one of 6 aerated grit channels. Grit here often includes storm runoff from roads, like asphalt cinders, pebbles, and sand. The aeration helps to settle the human waste and heavy inorganic material to the bottom of the tank, where it is scraped out and collected for removal. The lighter, lingering organic particles remain suspended in the water for the next stage. Just how much grit is there? Annually, 1,300 tons. Next, a slowdown begins as slightly cleaner water enters one of 9 primary sedimentation units. These tanks measure 280 feet in length, 15 feet deep, and 67 feet wide. Here, even smaller particles, including human waste, settle to the bottom of this tank and is called primary sludge. Accumulated scum and grease that traveled from the sewers float to the top and are skimmed away with automatic paddles. This is where fat and grease float to the top and are removed while the solids settle at the bottom and are pumped to a separate treatment process and properly disposed of. The primary sedimentation tanks have been completely covered for odor control, with ductwork in place to safely evacuate and treat the foul air from under the tank covers. Once free of solids that can settle, the wastewater moves on to what we call secondary waste activation treatment process. Most of the mechanical processes are complete. We move on to the biological treatments. At this stage, 2 million gallons of dirty water are aerated for more than 2 hours, preparing for the bugs. Yes, the wastewater is readied for the next stop in the liquid journey, where it is aided by the intentional addition of helpful bugs. Here, we have 8 aeration basins where these microorganisms are introduced in order to eat the biodegradable material found in the wastewater. This further cleans the water. Secondary clarifiers slowly settle the sludge wastewater that settled to the bottom of the basins. This is redistributed back through the aeration basins for further settling. The clean water floats to the top and then moves to the next phase of the process. Contact tanks disinfect the water using up to 2,000 gallons of sodium hypochlorite each day, also known as a strong chlorine bleach. This disinfects the water and kills the remaining bacteria. At the end of the tanks, the water passes through the dechlorination facility that uses sodium bisulfite to remove any remaining chlorine before the water is discharged. The water is now fully treated and ready to leave the plant via the outfall. We discharge 150,000 gallons a minute of water into the Ohio River. The treated water is cleaner than the river itself. The entire process from wet well to outfall takes between 9 to 12 hours. Thank you for joining our virtual tour.